Biztech's Investor Conversation show. Now, our guests for today are Jimmy Yee. He's the CEO of ACY Securities in Australia, as well as Nick Briscoe, the Country Manager Australia for Currencycloud. Now, they will shed light on the recent collaboration between both of them to simplify business in a currency world. Now, for a start, welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Pleasure to be on.
Now, Jimmy and Nick, perhaps you can start by each of you giving an overview of what your companies do. And we'll start with you, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Okay, so basically, ACY Securities is a rapidly expanding online trading provider in Australia, specialized in a wide range of asset classes. And our core focus is on delivering affordable trading options with solid trading execution, bespoke account management, and comprehensive market analysis. We prioritize our clients and strive to maintain transparency and leverage advanced technology in our operations. So with a strong history of servicing clientele since 2011, we possess the expertise and capability to cater the diverse trading requirements coming from all traders. We facilitate trading on a broad selection of over 3,000 instruments, including direct market access to equities, ETFs, Forex, indices, and commodities. So basically, that's who we are.
And you're focused only on within Australia, right? That's your customer base.
We headquartered in Australia, but pretty much we're servicing global clients over well over 150 countries. So we've got 6 different regions in operations. One is, we've got service offices in Philippines, in Taiwan, in Japan, in Jordan, Egypt, but in Australia is our headquarters.
Excellent. Now,
yep.
Nick, over to you. Nick, give us an overview of Currencycloud and what you do.
Sure. Thanks, Brian. Look, put simply, we are a provider of infrastructure, and that is financial infrastructure. So we essentially allow our customers, through the provision of both the technology stack and also the access to global markets, to deploy a completely embedded and seamless cross-border payments and multi-currency account solution to their downstream customers. So it's an important distinction. Almost exclusively, our customers are regulated financial services businesses themselves, who service individual consumers, SMEs, or large corporations, and all of their cross-border and multi-currency account needs. So Currencycloud as a business is a little over a decade old, started from relatively humble beginnings out of East London, and has progressed in pretty phenomenal growth trajectory over that decade to now a completely API-driven and cloud-based solution to provide all of these multi-currency and cross-border payment solutions to an audience of banks, brokerages, and fintechs, and of course their downstream customers. Probably worthwhile noting as well, the business was acquired by Visa Inc. back in December 2021. So now we're a very proud member of the Visa family, and getting all the benefits of that ownership structure from Visa as well, that obviously our clients get to benefit from.
Okay, now, gentlemen, and both of you can take turns answering this question. How does ACY Securities collaboration with Currencycloud work, and what are the key benefits? We'll start with Jimmy first.
Okay, cool. So basically, our partnership was born out of a shared vision to provide traders with a more efficient and secure way to process cross-border payments. So given Currencycloud's position as a leading global payments platform, their capabilities are well suited to the needs of ACY Securities traders. And the platform is fast, efficient, and secure, which helps speed up the trading processes for our clients. They also give ACY Securities with a competitive edge in the market as well when we are competing in the global markets. So ACY Securities can also capitalize on Currencycloud's extensive global network, enabling access to a wide range of currencies, expanding our reach into new markets, and deliver a more seamless payment solutions for all our traders. So pretty much, with the partnership with Currencycloud, we've seen that the growth of our global reach has been well expanded after the connections. So it was great.
How about you, Nick? Tell us a little bit more about this partnership.
Yeah, so look, Jimmy encapsulated a lot of the benefits right there and very well. But from our perspective, I think, again, sort of coming back to Jimmy talking about his customer base, he's got customers spread all around the world. So it's an Australian headquartered business with targeting a global audience of customers, trading in some pretty sophisticated products, which in and of themselves also have a cross-border need to settle equities trades, for example. In our view, ACY Securities is super focused on being the best securities and derivatives brokerage firm that it can be, and really excelling in its market. The payments and treasury functionality sitting behind that provides a great customer experience probably isn't their core activity, but it is an activity that Currencycloud can provide all of that global reach. So connection into real-time payments networks that operate domestically in a large and ever-increasing number of countries globally, and also utilizing our own payment rails to operate in a 24/7 operating environment to transfer funds around the world. So again, looking at a global business, we look at an example of, say, the SWIFT-based network. Sometimes it can be a little bit clunky, a little bit slow, and not necessarily fit for a retail investor's purposes when transferring funds. Currencycloud enables ACY Securities to remove those components from its business and those frictions, and provide a much more real-time 24/7 operating environment for their customers to either send funds to ACY Securities, have funds returned back from ACY Securities, or indeed perform a foreign exchange conversion into another currency at any time of the day or night in order to facilitate their trading activity with ACY. In addition, I think we also provide a really significant cost reduction. Again, sitting inside any brokerage or securities trading business, typically these treasury functions of sort of converting funds or collecting them from customers are a cost that is borne by the business, and quite a significant cost, I might add. So Currencycloud's technology enables a lot of compression in terms of that cost structure, as well as providing a much greater and improved customer experience.
Nick, I want to ask you a question around the challenges and opportunities of orchestrating payments for brokers like ACY. Obviously, you're doing this on a global scale, and ACY is one example of your customer base. Walk us through some of the difficulties, but really the opportunities really that you enable.
Yeah, so look, really good question. And stepping aside and looking at the brokerage market more broadly, I think it's no surprise to anybody. Obviously, we've been through the period of COVID where the proliferation of these online trading platforms, particularly centered around non-US domiciled investors wanting to invest in US listed securities. Often there are retail investors who are investing relatively modest sums. So utilizing Currencycloud's technology to enable a completely seamless and API-driven settlement cycle for those equities trades is one use case where we've seen a great expansion of our customer base into those Robinhood style platforms facilitating investment into US equities in particular. From an ACY Securities perspective, as we touched on, obviously they have a global audience of customers. Being able to collect funds and convert those where relevant and also pay them out in a much more efficient manner is super important. As Jimmy will attest to, the online trading world is a very, very competitive marketplace. Only the very top businesses survive and thrive in that environment. So every little competitive edge needs to be utilized. And certainly it's both the payment of funds into the business and the payment back out to the investors is one of those areas where frictions can develop. So it's super important to use, firstly, the lowest cost routing, but then also more importantly, a much more real-time payment environment for those customers. And particularly, again, as we sort of see the domestic real-time payment schemes continue to expand across the Asia Pacific region, people are getting much more accustomed, I think, to being able to transfer funds to their friends or family and do so instantaneously domestically. Their expectation now is that they can do that in a cross-border environment as well. So,
and I think that's a big change from just a few years ago, because
it's a massive shift.
The complexity around payments is something most people, unless you're in financial services and so on, or you're doing lots of exports, Most people have no idea about how complex and difficult it is to move money between jurisdictions.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And again, as we sort of see these real-time payment networks proliferate, people are getting accustomed to that real-time experience and a 24/7 on status for their ability to make domestic payments. The expectation is certainly increasing that happens in a cross-border world. And as you point out, Brian, even simple things that the foreign exchange conversion and the settlement lifecycle of that individual trade, that's another key component where most people are completely unaware of it. So it's an area where Currencycloud as a provider can greatly simplify those services to our customers, which then means the customer experience of our customers is a lot more seamless, more akin to what they're expecting in that sort of real-time domestic environment.
Now, this is a question I have for Jamie, and then after that, Nick, I want you to add on to this. Now, what are the main considerations for businesses when choosing a payment solution provider? And for you, Jimmy, how does Currencycloud meet those needs?
Basically, with ACY Securities, we connected, globally, we connected well over more than 25 gateways or payment providers, right? But with Currencycloud, the most important thing that when we connect into a new gateway, we consider is the security. The security is the paramount importance when handling financial transactions and the sensitive client information. So when choosing a payments solution provider, it is important for us to select a reliable and stable platform that prioritizes security and compliance within the industry standards and regulations, of course, while ensuring seamless and uninterrupted transaction processing. That's from the technology perspective, but also from the operational perspective, we as a broker, we do require to do a lot of reporting to our regulators like ASIC. So what we expect that having a administration platform where we can easily do reconciliations and getting our reporting back to our regulators. So pretty much Currencycloud have organized, from the front end client user experience and then back end reporting, everything's there. And what we like about Currencycloud is also their scalability and flexibility on the platform as well. So allowing brokers like us to handle increasing transaction volume without, compromising any performance from user experience. So, that's great.
Now, Nick, do you want to add anything to how Currencycloud basically meets the needs of businesses?
Yeah, I think if you had asked the question about what a securities or derivatives trading firm sort of had first on their list 2 years ago, it probably would have been a different answer to what we're getting from our customers now. Okay. Obviously, we've seen the risk-free rate in the US go from 0 to 5% effectively. We've seen a number of banks be subsumed into much larger banks in the US and all of the sort of turmoil that was created off the back of that. So, Brian, I'd say one of the key questions that we get asked first is certainly around counterparty risk, and that includes both the financial and technology perspective. And again, it's another area where Visa acquiring the business has sort of brought that really strong profile on both of those points to all of our customers as well, that they can sort of see the benefits of dealing with a much larger financial institution. But at the same time, when dealing with Currencycloud, they get the agility of a fast-moving fintech and the flexibility for us to tailor our product offering to those customers as well.
And Nick, I think, if I could interrupt you at this point, I can imagine that that's really now close to top of mind or number 2 at the very minimum, because especially with, yes, we've had an explosion of fintechs, but as you've just alluded to, reliability, dependability is, and also trust has now become top of mind.
Very much so. It's front and center. So the conversations are changing, and I think we've obviously benefited from that, but also our customers get to benefit from that as well.
Gentlemen, it's been a really informative conversation. But before we leave, any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with? And I want to start with you, Jimmy, and maybe some key takeaways or some key things that you're looking forward to achieving in the next 12 to 24 months.
So basically, ACY Securities is rapidly expanding our tech offering as well. So with our the parent company, or also our technology arm, Logics. So we're looking forward to, within the next 12 to 24 months to also implement Currencycloud into our, the technology offering, where we can also assist our traders and as well as our broker clients. So with this partnership with the Currencycloud will allow us to provide our customers and our broker clients with even better services. So we are confident that we will be able to grow even further and support our expanding customer base. And we are excited to see what the future holds for this partnership. So pretty much looking forward to the next 12 months.
And how about you, Nick?
It's great. Honestly, that's a ringing endorsement of our services. So thanks for that. It's like, Brian, that's exactly what we want to hear. As I said at the start, we see ourselves very much as a provider of infrastructure. We see ourselves as enabling the success of our fintech, bank or brokerage customers, and doing so in a manner that's sort of behind the scenes, so that we enable our customers to go out and build their business and be their absolute best they can be in the field that they operate in, whilst we abstract away a lot of the complexity of those multi-currency accounts and that really seamless embedded cross-border payments experience. So it's great to hear from Jimmy, quite frankly. Back at a business level, we continue to build out our business like ACY. We're really rapidly expanding both regionally and in Australia. Our Singapore hub continues to hire more staff, and we continue to expand the business across the Asia Pacific region. And likewise in Australia as well, we're continuing to expand the team as our customer base continues to grow in the country as well. So super exciting times for us. Very much looking forward to the future, and also very much looking forward to the continued partnership with ACY.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you very much for coming on.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
We've been speaking to Jimmy Yee, the CEO of ACY Securities, and Nick Briscoe, the country manager for Australia for Currencycloud. I'm Brian Fernandez, and you've been watching and listening to BizTech's Investor Conversation Show. This interview will be on our platform, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.